Alrighty, so welcome everyone to Multifamily Meetup Mondays. Actually, this is Multifamily Investor Nation Multifamily Meetups. I'm your host for today. My name is Carlos D. Reinoso, as you can see on your screen. Let me get this microphone out of the way for a sec. All right, we're just gonna let everyone finish coming in, and then we're gonna get started in just a little bit here, just a few seconds. All right, so today you're in the right place if you're here to learn about working with property management for your multifamily deals. I'm your host, Carlos D. Reinoso. I am a co-organizer for this group. All right, so as you guys are coming in, if you would find your chat box and real quick, just let us know what city and state you're coming in from. There's also quick announcements. When you're coming in, if you would just let us know, if you could share your email address and name and email, and the people who do share their email address will receive a video called How to Get Started in Multifamily. It's a video webinar, if you will, and that's free. That's a bonus that we're giving out to everyone who's joining us. If you haven't received yours and you have put your email address, please send me an email. You have my email address here at the very top of the chat box, and I'll make sure to get one to you right away. All right, we got Woodstock, Georgia. Awesome. So I love that we're local here. I actually do sell single family homes still, and I do sell in the Woodstock area, as well as some multifamily over in Roswell as well. So thank you for that. Brock coming in from Ackworth. Thank you. We got Fayetteville. Love that. Local people here. I love that. Thanks for joining us today, guys. All righty. We do sometimes get international guests. Hopefully they'll be joining us as well. All right. And what I like to start the show with is everyone going around and quickly introducing yourselves, and we can go one at a time, and then as one person finishes, the next one you could go ahead and get started. We're going to then go into content, and shortly thereafter we're also going to jump into breakout rooms. If we still have this amount of guests at the end, we'll definitely join into the breakout rooms, kind of give you another opportunity to network with each other. Now guys, just so you know, a lot of people that are here on the call today are experienced investors. We do have some syndication attorneys on the call. We have some regular real estate attorneys as well on the call. We also have some passive investors on this call. I was trying to get you guys a property manager on the call. Unfortunately, the two that I reached out to were not available at this time. But we try to bring you value by bringing you experienced investors as well. And as well as newbie investors, so that you guys could kind of network with each other, get to know each other, and kind of like expand, your networking opportunities on this show. Bear with me while I let some more people in here. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. As I was saying, as you're coming in, please let us know what city and state you're coming in from. And we're going to go ahead and start the introductions. Basically, whoever I see unmuted will go first. And then we'll just try to roll from there. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're currently doing in the multifamily space. Okay, who wants to go first? All righty. Who wants to go second? Okay, guys, let's not be shy here. Andy, if you would, you unmuted yourself. Please go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you're doing in the multifamily space. Now, if you're not an investor, if you're just getting started, that's not a problem. Just let us know what you are doing professionally. Thank you.
All right. Well, it's really myself and my wife. We're a team.
Awesome.
And I'm a full-time fireman. She's a full-time teacher. We're both real estate agents. We don't have any multifamilies, but that's our goal, is to get enough passive income where we're going to retire soon, so we could, live a pretty good life.
Awesome.
And we have 6 single family dwellings, 4 in Atlanta, 1 in Mableton, and 1 in Macon. And we're trying to just scale up and trying to get up to where we can get, 20 units, apartment buildings and alike. We've been looking into Birmingham, Huntsville, and then of course, the Atlanta area. Yeah, hoping to meet some people here that can help us out, and we can help each other out, really.
That sounds like a plan. And yeah, like I've said before on this show before, and thank you, Andy, for sharing that, is that some deals have been started here in the sense of partnerships have been started here. People have gone ahead and brokered deals that started with meeting at this show. I call this Meetup the show. And so, yeah, I wish it for you. And yeah, so, for those who don't know, I'm also a realtor. I've been doing that for a lot of years now. I do sell single family homes as well, but I'm primarily in the multifamily space now. And I'm going to be letting in some more people in. So that's great. Bear with me for a second. Okay, who wants to go next? Just unmute yourself and go ahead and get started introducing yourself.
Hey, how's it going? I'll go next.
Hi, Kendall, go ahead.
All right, yep. So Kendall Mayo in the Atlanta area. I'm actually looking for fix and hold properties within Columbus, Georgia. Not necessarily focused on multifamily right now, more focused on like single family or duplexes. But I figured I'd still come out and, just network with other people, because real estate investing is real estate investing. So, and as far as my 9 to 5, I'm a data engineer working at CNN. So, but I do have prior experience in construction project management, because I used to work for Kroger, overseeing their projects all throughout Georgia. So I do have experience in the area, just trying to transition into residential now. So, but yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Kendall, and thanks for joining us today.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Who wants to go next, guys?
Yeah, I'll hop in here.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Matt Everard. I'll be just giving a little background. I missed the first part of it, so I guess that's what we're doing, just intros.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Matt Everard here from Atlanta. I'm pretty much from here. I live in the Roswell, Marietta area. I have been in real estate since the beginning of this year. I left corporate America in Q1. So yeah, just going all in. So right now I'm just doing wholesaling to build up the capital, and if I come across something, I'm open to holding on to it. But yeah, just it's all about building relationships, and so of course do the in-person ones. But I saw the multifamily. That's definitely something I'm looking at doing as like the end goal. So just get on here, mix and mingle, and then meet everybody else, and that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, and I love that everybody here has got some kind of experience so far. Don't feel shy, even if you don't have experience. That's what we're here for today, to learn a little bit, to network and possibly end up partnering on deals. So go ahead, whoever wants to go next and introduce yourselves. And thank you, Matt, for your introduction. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else want to go ahead and introduce themselves? Brock, your hand is up, so go ahead, unmute yourself and give us a little introduction for those who don't know you. I know Brock is coming in and out because he's actually driving right now, so he might not be available right now. So who wants to go next?
My name is Ethan Gao. I'm a Houston-based attorney, investor, and financial advisor. I'm looking for KP and balance sheet partner opportunities, and I'm currently working on a 32-unit deal in the Rio Grande Valley in Texas.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, Ethan. It's always a pleasure to have you, sir. Anybody else want to go ahead? If not, we could go ahead and jump into the content. Yeah, Brock was saying he cannot unmute himself for XY reasons. So anybody else want to go ahead and introduce yourselves? If not, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the content. All right. So yes, guys, thank you again for joining us. Basically, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to be talking about working with property management for your multifamily deals. Bear with me while I change the speaker view for a second. And, sometimes people do come in later. So if you see that I pop out of the screen for a second is just so I could admit some other folks coming in. Bear with me. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the presentation for today. And then I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. All right. If I could get someone to let me know if they see my screen here. Anybody, just jump out and let me know if you could see the screen.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate that. So yeah, today's going to be working with property management for your multifamily deals. And, this is a topic that is very important. Your property management could either make or break your deal. So it's important to have, that in mind when you're picking a property management company. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So who am I? And I'll be brief with this because I know other times, I go into more depth. If you want to learn a little bit more about who I am and the best places to find me, feel free to watch my previous videos on YouTube. And there you'll see where you can connect with me on LinkedIn, my business Facebook page, and so on. My name again is Carlos D. Reinoso. I'm the co-organizer for Multifamily Investor Nation. I'm also the founder and CEO of Canis Major Investment Capital LLC, which is my investment arm. I also have a single family company, but I don't really focus that too much because, again, I am trying to transition more into multifamily these days. I am a managing partner, a general partner, and currently a capital raiser and equity partner on a 240 unit 506B offering in San Antonio, Texas. I'm also the author of Selling Secrets You Can't Afford to Miss. And recently I've been invited to be a guest on Best Real Estate Investing Advice Ever. For those of you who don't know, that's the podcast with Joe Fairless. And it's the longest running podcast ever. So I think he's basically, they have a daily podcast and they've been doing it for many years now. So I'm really proud to have been invited to be a guest. Not sure exactly when it's going to come out or when it's going to be, but definitely look forward to that. And as soon as I do know, I'll go ahead and share that with you guys as well. Now, this is coming up soon, so it's also poignant to go ahead and bring it up today. I'm going to be a guest moderator at the Multifamily Investor Nation Summit. It's taking place on January 20th through the 22nd next year on the Raising Capital panel. And, I'll be the guest moderator there. And you can use my promo code Carlos100 and you'll save $100 off the price of admission. Now, quick announcements. Make sure to go ahead and sign in the chat box with your name and email. And all those who do provide their email address will get the video. Again, how to get started in multifamily. It is a video. It's free of charge. It's just a little added bonus that we try to share with you here. Excuse me. Now, again, you can go check out my YouTube channel at Carlos D. Reinoso. There, you're going to find great resources, not only on past videos on how to invest in multifamily, you're also going to be able to find other investors there and feel free to reach out to them. Maybe, reach out to them on LinkedIn or send them an email and, and just let them know that, you saw them on my video and you wanted to kind of connect. So yeah, definitely, if you would like, subscribe, and if possible, leave me a comment. I'd really appreciate that. I could use all the support I can get there. You can find me on LinkedIn at Carlos D. Reinoso, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I hope you guys will join us for the Multifamily Investor Nation Summit. It happens every year in January and in June. I'm going to try to see if this works. If it does, if you guys would let me know briefly if you could hear the audio, because I just want to get you an idea of what you can expect at the summit, which happens in January and in June. But it's one of the best places to connect with other investors because there's over 500 investors that show up here. And it's a great place to network. Plus, these investors are always willing to share the information with you. All right, so Here it goes. All righty. So I hope you guys enjoyed that brief video. It's going to be a great place to partner up with other investors, and you're definitely going to be learning a lot. And the best part is you're definitely going to be able to network and kind of, see what they're doing and learn best practices and everything else like that. I hope you guys stick around till the end because there'll be more networking opportunities. You can get to know each other a little bit better. And again, the content today is going to be working with property managers for your multifamily deals. Okay. And it's going to be 3 basic topics. And the topics are going to be finding property managers, managing the property managers, and then firing the property managers. All right, just let me check the chat box real quick because I want to make sure that you guys are still hearing me okay. Okay. And yeah, somebody asked, where's the summit at? It's a virtual summit. They actually started doing it virtually before COVID and everything else. They started virtual possibly like 2 years beforehand. So yeah, this event has always been virtual and it's the best thing. So, you could join from the comfort of your home. It is a 2-day event. For me, honestly, it's my favorite event of the year. I've met a lot of partners and investors here, and I've learned a lot of best practices from them. So, what I like to do with this meetup is, as I'm learning, is share the same information with you guys so you guys can learn the same and be where I am and do what I'm doing, and hopefully we could rub off on each other and help each other out. All right, so good question. Thanks for asking that, Andy. Okay, so the best place to find these property managers, and again, I wanted to see, could you guys hear me okay? My microphone coming in loud and clear. Could I get a quick yes?
Yes.
Thank you, Matt. All right, guys, appreciate that. And thank you also for putting in the chat box. I appreciate that as well. All right, so the first place you want to get started is Google search, and you want to search property management companies. Everybody knows about Google, no surprise there. But the most important thing is when you go is you want to make sure that you find someone that a property management company that is working on the same size of asset that you are. So, if you're working with 100 or less, there's a property management company specifically for that unit size. And if you're looking for 100 plus, you definitely want to make sure that you have a property management that has been able to handle 100 plus properties in the past. Because if not, it might not work for either of you. So you definitely want, that's one of the first things, is make sure that it's the same size. Interview them and ask them about the specific asset that they're, that they take on. Again, you don't want to, hire somebody who's only used to working 20 units, and now you're going to tell them, hey, I want you to work on my, Class B 240 units. All right. And then the other thing is, ask them for like some kind of track record, where you can verify their track record and make sure that everything that they're telling you and all the experiences that they're saying, that it could be verifiable. In this business, there's one quick paraphrase that is used very often, and that's trust, but verify. Always verify the information, and it's just, you're covering your bases, you're doing your proper due diligence, and you're making sure that these people, do have good references. It's not just the same as saying, oh yeah, we have 300 units under management. Okay, but how well is it going with those 300 units? So definitely try to get some kind of track record from them and make sure it's on the same unit type. You want to find out what their fees are and would it fit into your underwriting. So again, if you're doing a 10 unit, you don't want to jump into somebody who's got 200 units under property management, because their fees might be too high for what you're looking to do. Also, there's going to be a broker bringing you the deal. A good resource is that broker. Go ahead and ask that broker, hey, who would you recommend? Who are you seeing often out there in the market who's the property management on a lot of these bigger deals, like the ones that we're going after? And, for me, this Class B that I'm currently in, it's actually the biggest property that I've been a part of, because before this, the biggest property I was looking to get into was 100 units. And before that, I was dealing with 5 and 6 units. So there is a scale and a progression to this, but you definitely want to make sure that wherever it is you start, you have the proper property management that fits the unit count. And ask the brokers. You could also ask other PM companies, ask them, who's your competition? Who else do you know out here in the market that is similar to you guys? And, if they've been out in this business for a while, they know exactly who their competition is. And, let them know you'll be interviewing multiple companies to find the ones that best suit your needs. All righty. Now okay, I went one step too far here. Now with managing the property managers, there's a few documents that you're definitely going to need, and you want to definitely be checking in with them on a weekly basis, making sure that they're doing what they say they're going to be doing, that they are, taking care of the property. Check in with the management company, the regional on-site staff. And it's very important with the on-site staff is because they're the feet on the ground, right? They're the boots on the ground. They're the people that are actually knowing, talking to the tenants. They're doing the work orders. They're seeing the crime that's going on in the area, if any. Hopefully there's none. And they're the best people to bring in on these calls, along with the regional. And the regional is because they're going to be the ones accountable if you feel that something is lacking in the process. And as as the property gets stabilized, they're going to go ahead and you're going to go ahead and have less meetings. But at first, when you're first trying to stabilize a property, make sure to do at least weekly calls. And then later on, as things progress, you could always go ahead and do monthly calls as well. Get the box score. And if any of you have seen the box score, it's basically like a 4-sheet document, and it's going to have leasing activity, move-ins and outs, unit occupancy status, physical and economic occupancy. So the difference between both is your physical is the people that are actually there, and your economic occupancy are the people that are actually paying. So you might have 100% leased units, but not everybody's paying, or they're not paying on time, or they're not paying their late fees. So you definitely want to make sure you have both. and then an occupancy forecast. And what that's going to let you know is, who's going to be moving out in the near future, and kind of, how to prepare for that. So you want to have a game plan. So if you know that it's the school season and a lot of people are going to be moving to the area for the school, then that would be a good time to have whoever's deciding to move out maybe a few months ahead of time, so that you could have everybody in time for that school season, if that makes sense. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have as we go. And again, toward the end, we'll have some quick Q&A for anyone who still has questions. Let's see. Yeah, delinquencies. Delinquency report is also going to be one of the documents you're going to see. And you definitely want to make sure that they have a game plan of, okay, this is the delinquencies that we're seeing and what they're doing to avoid those delinquencies, right? There could be late fees added on top. If someone has too many late fees, maybe it's time to, to get rid of the bad residents and bring in the good residents that are willing to pay on time, and so on and so forth. Again, what efforts are being made to reduce the delinquencies? The accounts payable, making sure that you have that information as well. A summary of money that's owed to vendors. And, when I used to be in property management, we had a separate file specifically for that, just to pay out vendors. And we used to keep track of who we're paying. If we've had, trouble with any vendors, we would notate that. If we had excellent vendors, we would definitely bring them to the top of the list, and making sure that we appreciate them and let them know that we appreciate working with them as well. And most importantly, how much cash we have on hand. That's something that is also very important. They should be sending you these monthly reports, the income and expense report, basically also called the P&Ls, the profit and loss, and detailed variance compared to the budget. So if you look at the budget that you had in your business plan, you want to see and compare what the differences are and what you're seeing, and have them give you some kind of a game plan on what they, why, or some explanation really on why there's a difference, if any, and what, kind of like talk to them and say, what are we doing about this? And kind of give them a timeline as well. Like, listen, I'd really like this to be improved. I'm going to give you guys a month to show me that the numbers are improving. And if not, we're going to circle back and see what else we could do to try to address this issue. The deposit report, basically that lets you know how much money is being deposited on a monthly basis. The general ledger, overall ledger, the balance sheet, the trial balance sheet, the rent rolls, T12s if possible, which are the trailing 12 months of the information of the financials, and the expiration report and maintenance report. Next, we're going to jump into how to fire the property managers and why you would consider firing them. And the reasons for firing them may include they're not performing, or something as simple as personality conflict. So if you feel that, I don't know, like I've told this person a few times, they said they were going to improve on this, I still see the numbers low, the occupancy levels aren't quite what we had envisioned, what we spoke about in our last meeting. I don't see enough progress or improvement. Those might be reasons to say, hey, maybe it's time we let these people go, and maybe look into hiring someone with more experience or someone who works best with these unit types, and go from there. If they can't meet the occupancy goals, that's a definite red flag, and it would definitely deter me from continuing the relationship, the business or professional relationship with that property management company. So in that case, you want to just set up another meeting with them and decide, listen, maybe this isn't working for either of us, and we've decided to move on. Very important when dealing with property management and leasing agents and on-site staff and everything else, you want to hire slow but fire fast. Hire slow but fire fast. In other words, you don't want to, if you see that, we talked about this last month in the meeting, you said the numbers were going to be increased, the occupancy was going to go up, and you're still seeing low occupancy, and they're not putting in the effort, and just the numbers don't represent that they're doing what they said they were going to do, then don't wait around another 3 months to see. I'll give them a chance, or they're so nice, I'd hate to see them go. Don't let your personal feelings get in the way. This is business, and overall you're looking out for the investors that are invested in your deals, and you're looking out for the best interest of those investors and the overall profits on the deal. So you definitely do not delay. Hire slow, fire fast. You want to check with your lenders, and the reason why is because sometimes you might need their approval in order to let go of a property management company, and the easiest way to get their approval is to have someone already in line that has previous experience, and preferably someone who that lender has already had a good experience with. And that's why I would consider, if I'm going to let go of the current property management, I'm going to look into the vendor, I'm going to check in with them, and I'm going to say, all right, Mr. Lender, Miss Lender, who do you guys usually work with that you have good experiences with? And listen, it's not working out with this other property management, so we'd like to go ahead and just basically move on, and we want to make sure that it's going to be okay with you guys, and kind of bring them in on the details, right? Show them their track record, their experience, and other deals that they're currently property managers on, and they'll feel more inclined to say, yes, go ahead. But before you get rid of the previous property management, definitely check with the lenders, guys. I've heard ghost stories or horror stories, if you would, about that, where they let go of the property management too soon, and the lender wasn't liking it too much, and it could hurt the deal, and it could hurt the transaction, and it could kind of like interfere with the relationship that you're building with this lender. So your lender is your partner in the deals. Kind of make sure you bring them in on the information and let them know what's going on. Give proper notice if required by the contract. So sometimes look at the fine print, the contract from the property management and your own company is going to say that they need 45 days notice. Doesn't mean you have to keep them around 45 days, but you definitely want to give them a heads up so that they have time to move on and do what they have to do as well. Kind of keep that in mind too. And again, you don't have to keep them on, but at least give them notice that, hey guys, it's not working out. We're not going to be keeping you guys around for much longer, and definitely search the contract that you have with them to know how to proceed there. Now, a little caveat here, a little side note, if you will, is, when I first got started, some people were saying, oh, it's good to invest with property managers. As I learned more in the industry, I realized that could be a conflict of interest. So picture this, you're working with a property manager and it didn't work out. And let's say they're invested, literally, they're also LPs or limited partners on your deals. They've invested their own money in the deal. And now you got to let them know, sorry, but it's not working out. Eeks. It's going to be a little harder to get rid of them. And it's going to be a little awkward, if you will, to say, hey, I know you're an investor in this deal, but you're not meeting the numbers that we had spoken about. So we're afraid we're going to have to let you go. And we already have another management company. So, we're going to live out the 30 days that we spoke about in the contract, but we're definitely letting you know so that that we're moving on. And, sometimes you might consider just paying them their 30 last days and saying, okay, look, starting tomorrow, you guys aren't here, as long as you gave them notice, right? But when you do give them that notice, you might also say, okay, we're going to pay you the last 30 days, but don't worry, you don't have to come in next week or whatever. We already got somebody in place. And it's easier to get rid of them if they're not part of the equity split. I was just mentioning that right now. So you might want to consider not bringing in the property managers, just because if anything goes south, the deal goes sour, then it'll be easier to break off that relationship and fire them. All right, guys, that's pretty much all I have for today. Next month's topic is going to be on asset management responsibilities after closing a multifamily deal. We hope you'll join us for that one as well. And now I'll just, if anybody has any questions, feel free to, just bring them up. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. And you could also put them in the chat box. I see somebody comment here in the chat box. You're welcome, Matt. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Any questions you guys have? And now what I'll go ahead and do, here's my contact information. Now, this is not, I hope you guys understand, I'm not trying to promote myself by putting this here. But a lot of times when the meeting is over, I have people reach out to me and they're like, oh, Carlos, I want to set up a meeting. Oh, how could we set up a meeting to go ahead and talk? Sometimes, you call me up, I'm available, I could pick up the call. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a deal or doing something else. So this is a good way to reach out to me. And as you can see here, you have my calendar invite. It's basically calendly.com/Carlos Reinoso Realty /introductory call. So that's a good way to reach out to me. You also have my office number and cell phone number down here. So feel free to call me and feel free to reach out. Brock, if you would mute your microphone, please. And now that concludes my presentation. So I just want to know if anybody has any questions. If not, thank you, because that means that I presented the topic well, and that means that there are no further questions. So either way, I appreciate that. If you guys like, we could go into breakout rooms now. So I'll leave that up to you guys and kind of just stick around for a little bit longer and see if you guys have any questions. Eric, did you have a question? If so, go ahead, unmute and ask your question.
Hey, yes, I did. So what is like the nominating factor, or the common factor of you having like a superintendent with like like multiple units, or is there like a property management that also includes the superintendent, if that makes sense?
Yes. So like in Georgia, for instance, and I know in Florida too, because I also do real estate in Florida, like in the sense we have property managers and we have on-site managers. Sometimes if it's a smaller deal, it'll be like a handyman. So that's kind of like the same thing. And so anything with 100 units or more, you're gonna have a full-blown property management. You're probably gonna have one on-site manager, and you're also gonna have at least one property manager and one leasing agent. If you have more than that, then more than 100 units or more than 150 units, you might have another leasing agent. But for the most part, over here, we have the maintenance manager, if you will, and they're the ones that are going to kind of look at the groundskeeping. And anytime there's a work order, they'll act like the superintendent in the sense that they'll go and make sure to do the work orders on the property. And the way we try to handle it, and the way I learned to handle it in the past, is make sure that as they do the work order, they bring you back a document, the work order sheet that says, listen, we did the work order, it was completed, or I have to go back for a second look and to finish the work that we're doing. And that's something else that you want to go ahead and look at. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate you coming today. So great question, Eric. Thank you for that. So, in other states, there might be superintendents, but it's all in the word. Rose by any other name is still a rose. So it's basically just a different way to say the on-site manager or the maintenance person as well, maintenance manager. So good question, Eric. All right, guys. Quick show of hands. I don't know if everybody knows how to use the raise your hand feature, but let me know if you guys want to go do a breakout room. We do have still 8 people, so that could definitely be 2 breakout rooms, and that could be fun. So, okay, I got a few interested parties. All right, perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and do breakout rooms. Awesome. I love that. Thank you guys for participating. I really appreciate your time today. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first breakout room. I'm gonna let the system assign it automatically. So just hang in there, and pretty soon you'll see it come in and invite you to the breakout room. I'll see you guys there. Thanks. All right, guys, that was amazing. What a great turnout. A lot of people were here. A lot of people networking, kind of working out similar deals. Some people were looking for 50 units. Some people were looking to be key principals on others' deals. Definitely a great place to meet other investors. We hope you'll join us next time when we're going to be talking about asset management and how to manage the property managers. Hope you guys will join us next Monday. Well, the next month and on Monday for that one as well. First Monday in December. We meet the first Monday of every month, unless it falls on a holiday. Other than that, I look forward to see you guys. This is Carlos D. Reinoso. Today's topic was working with property managers on your multifamily deals. Look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Have a great one. God bless. Peace.
We'll be right back.